Welcome to the graphic design intro video for May 4th. Here is your overview for the week. To begin with, we'll start with the intro video. I'm going to review what it is that you're going to be working on. I'm going to show you some stuff in Canvas, and then I'm going to show you some sample magazine covers that students in my previous classes had completed. What you're going to be working on this week is finishing up or doing the Ed puzzle. Remember, that is due by Thursday. That is how I'm taking attendance, so you need to have that posted by Thursday. I've included a link in there if you had problems with your browser or device in accessing Edpuzzle, so you have a way to get into it still. The assignments for this week, I'm going to be reviewing a whole bunch of the videos that the college provided me, as well as some resources that I've gathered together to help you out. And then you'll be turning in your finalized version of your magazine cover, as far as including all of the stuff that needs to be there for me to take a look at. And then you'll be filling out an exit slip. And all of that, aside from the Ed puzzle, will be due by midnight on Sunday. Now, I want to remind you, I do have open office hours on Tuesday morning from 8 to 9, and I have the class hours set for Friday for 5th period at 8 to 9, and for Friday 6th period from 10 to 11. Definitely take me up on those times. I'm answering a lot of questions by email that could be easily addressed by looking at the intro video and showing up to those meetings. So definitely help me to be able to help you. Just show up if you have any questions. You do not have to stay for the entire hour. If you've got your question answered in the first 10 minutes, you're done. All right, let's take a look at Canvas. So for this week, you're going to be doing your Ed puzzle. And as you're preparing to work on your magazine cover, I've provided some resources here for the basics of typography. In here, this is an article that has 40 of some of the best fonts that are available in Adobe Typekit. You do not have to use Typekit. If you happen to be using Photopea, you can use other fonts. There you can actually download fonts from a site called Dafont, D-A-F-O-N-T, or you can use Google Fonts or any of the ones that are pre-installed on your machine. Just don't use the default font. Myriad, Arial, really lame. Here's another list of different font combinations that work well. So rather than trying to teach you all the intricacies of typography, I'm just going to show you a list of fonts that work well together. And then what I want you to do is read through this. This is cramming together a full semester of typography rules, all into 18 basic rules. So if you read through this before you start looking for fonts, this will save you tremendous amounts of frustration and will make your stuff look much more professional. So take the time to read through that. It's a really great infographic. In addition to these particular resources, I've also included on the Canvas site a list again of some of the free image sites that I think work best. When you're creating your document, you've got to make sure that you're setting it up at 300 dots per inch. So when you're using the 8.5 by 11 sheet for the cover, it's got to be 300 dots per inch. Now, let me show you the other pieces that are here. The major thing for this week is going to be going through and looking at how the college instructor for Art 125 pieced together the masthead. That's the title of the magazine. You'll be creating that in Illustrator if you have access to it. If you're using a Chromebook, you will not be able to do the masthead in Illustrator because Illustrator does not work on the Chromebooks. So what you'll do instead is you'll create a logo in Photopea. You want to make sure that that logo is large. It's 300 dots per inch, and you'll be pulling the stuff over into the document. So do the best you can with that. But everybody will want to watch these videos. This first one is he's going to walk you through how he went about in his thought process on creating the masthead, selecting the image and how to actually cut it out if you're going to do the cutout portion for Photoshop. Here's an explanation of some ideas that he had for incorporating other graphics into the background, how to put the masthead into the magazine, some things about creating hierarchy, like basically what do you see first, second, and third, and then how to finalize the magazine. I'm going to show you some example ones from last year and the year before. Let me go ahead and put this on full screen. So I just kind of pulled out some of the ones that I thought popped out that looked pretty cool. So here is one approach to, actually let me reduce the size. Looks like my screen is cutting it off a little bit. There we go. All right, so with this particular piece, some of the key things you're going to be including are the title. You're going to be including a barcode. the price, the tagline, and at least one article name. So you want to make sure you look through those. So here's another example. And another one. Just kind of working my way through. Now you'll notice with the barcode, you can just download a free barcode. And sometimes incorporating the price, the volume number, and the date into the barcode makes more sense because the barcode's not really a nice, attractive looking thing to throw on there. It kind of throws off the overall look of the design. So sometimes hiding it into the corner is a great way to be able to do that. So you can see some of these took an approach where it was a lot more text than others. You have to have at least one article, but you want to make sure that you include at least 2 lines. And what I mean by that is having something that's the main attention getter and then some kind of subheading. I would recommend sticking to no more than 3 fonts total, and you can change the font size, the font color, and everything else that's in there. But there needs to be the title, the barcode, an article, a volume number, the year and date, and the masthead, which is the magazine title. I have that listed in the assignment. You can also look at the rubric for the magazine cover to see if you're missing anything. You can see some other varieties of ones that are here. And a couple more. All right, let's go back over here to Canvas. On the next tab that's here, this is where you're going to be submitting your JPEG version of your magazine cover. Now you want to make sure that you have it saved as a Photoshop document. So if you're using Photopea, make sure you save it as a PSD file and then export it as a JPEG. You need to have 2 versions because eventually I will have you turn in the full Photoshop version as well as a JPEG, but for this first draft that's going to include everything, I need it set up this way: 8.5 by 11, 300 dots per inch. You need to have the masthead. Now, like I've mentioned, if you don't have Illustrator, download it, but if you have a Chromebook or you're using your phone, you won't be able to use Illustrator, so go ahead and create that in whatever application you have. Include your slogan and tagline, your barcode, at least 1 article, the volume number, the month and year, the price. And I'm recommending avoiding the actual celebrities or famous people. It's better to utilize photos from Unsplash just to represent stuff, or one of the other free image sites, because when we do the magazine spread, you're going to need to make sure that we don't have any copyrighted images. For the submission on this, I just need a high quality JPEG at the maximum quality and just save it as last name, first initial, magazine cover draft. And you'll submit that right here. For the optional challenge this week, this is totally up to you if you want to do this one now or later. What I want you to do is collage together 3 to 5 images that you've taken that have helped you stay sane or survive during this quarantine. You can get as creative as you want with it, but you're going to be putting it together into one combined photo grid collage. This one here shows how to set it up using Photoshop. The same basic technique would be the same, or you would use the same basic technique if you're using Photopea. Now this is optional again, but the information is here if you're interested in taking that challenge. The last thing that you'll do for the week is just complete the exit slip. That's a simple Google form, 3 questions, your name, including your name and class period. So that is what's going on for the week. There is a lot to do and a lot of videos to watch, so I would jump on it as quick as possible and then hit me up with questions.